Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Michael Comeau. I'm Director of Content for T3 Live, and today is the big day. It is Nvidia earnings time. So we're going to go through every little thing you need to know about Nvidia earnings, because as you know, this is the event of the season, just like it was the big event last season and the one before that. Now, very, very important. This event is for entertainment purposes only. You will not get investment advice. You probably won't learn anything, but hopefully we'll have a little fun. Now, just an FYI, I am long Nvidia stock. I'm long Nvidia call, so I am 100% biased. And just for fun, all images in this presentation were created by AI apps like ChatGPT and Grok, which is made by Twitter, and all the data and charts are from Koifin, with one exception from T3 Live. So say hi in the chat. Let me know where you're dialing in from. Our friend JP is saying, let's go. But again, type down in the chat. Let me know where you're from. Just curious where everybody is. We have about 200 people watching live. Let's hopefully get that up to 500 or 600 by the time Nvidia actually reports. So this is the agenda for today. So we're going to play Two Truths and a Lie, Nvidia edition. Everybody loves that. I'm going to go through all the Nvidia numbers, including stuff they're not talking about on CNBC, stuff analysts aren't talking about. I'm going to talk about what could make the stock go up, what could kill the rally, and then I will review the numbers live when they actually come out. VD is saying, hi, YouTube. What's up, VD? Okay, so just an FYI, Nvidia reports at 4:20 p.m. Eastern time, which is 30 minutes from now. The conference call is after at 5. I'm probably going to wrap up this live stream at like 4:25, 4:30, so 5 or 10 minutes after the live stream. So we're just crossing 300 people watching right now. So again, everybody, let me know where you're. I'll put in the chat. I'll put on the screen again. Where are you watching from? Okay, so let us start to dig in. And again, if you want to save with T3's Black Friday deals, go to t3live.com/NVDA, t3live.com/NVDA. So this is how Two Truths and a Lie works. I'm going to make 3 statements. One of them is a lie. Just type the number of the lie in the chat. So again, these are the 3 statements. One of them is a lie. Type the number of the lie in the chat. So number 1, APP, aka AppLovin, is beating Nvidia year to date. Number 2, Nvidia is up more than 2,500% in the past 5 years. Number 3, Nvidia was founded over a pancake breakfast inside an IHOP restaurant. Anybody want to venture a guess? I'll just give you guys a couple minutes or a couple seconds to type your guess in the chat. We have almost 400 people in, so just type a number in the chat, 1, 2, or 3. Which one do you think is the lie? Sherry is telling us number 2. Anybody else have a guess? Jeff is saying 2. VD is saying app true, so he thinks number 1 is true. But which one do you think is the lie? Type what you think. Lorenzo saying number 2. VD is saying number 3. So we have a winner. VD, you are the winner. Truth is, Nvidia was founded at Denny's, not IHOP. So yeah, fun fact, Nvidia was actually founded at Denny's. Okay, so let's start going through some of the numbers on Nvidia. So 2024, you guys know this has been a huge stock. It's up about 190%. Number 2 in the Qs, number 3 in the SPX. Over the last 5 years, it's up about 2,700%, and it's number 1 in the SPX, number 1 in the Qs. And just an FYI, if you want to know what's beating it this year, I believe it's VST and Palantir in the SPX, I believe. Okay, so why is it up so much? This is obvious. So Nvidia dominated gaming chips, and then it dominated AI. So you see there's headlines everywhere about companies like OpenAI, Microsoft, Meta, Google spending billions and billions of dollars on Nvidia AI chips. I think Elon Musk just raised something like $6 billion to buy Nvidia chips for Grok, which is their AI tool, which is inside Twitter, which is actually not bad. I started testing it the last couple of days. Grok is actually not that bad. So we are up to 487 people. We have a whole bunch of people on Twitter. Let's try to get up to 500, 600. So like, comment, whatever on this video. Let's try to spread it around because we want to get a big crowd going for when those Nvidia numbers actually hit. So just an FYI, for what these Nvidia GPUs are actually doing. So what you see on the screen is something actually made in Grok. So I typed in cybernetic gorilla wearing a white tank top with an Nvidia logo. So Grok sends that information into Nvidia GPU, and then it pops it out on the screen. That's basically what Nvidia is doing. That's where it fits in to this AI equation. So as you can see, Nvidia's revenues have gone through the roof. Incidentally, they hit a trough exactly when ChatGPT was launched a couple of years ago, and you could see it's just those numbers have just gone up, up, and up over the last couple of years, and that's why the stock's been up. It's pretty obvious. Now, as far as valuation goes, right now it's trading at about 41 times forward earnings. That's basically in line with, say, the past year. It looks like there's nothing really out of the ordinary. And again, if anybody has comments, questions, type them down below and I'll answer whatever I can, or I can bring up whatever you want to bring up. So make sure you comment down below. Let me know what you think. Okay, now in terms of, is the stock overbought? Because it's had a little bit of a pop lately. Not really. You could see on the screen the RSI is below recent high, so it doesn't look like anything outrageous. I was talking to Sami Abusad before, who some of you guys may know. He said, he talked about how the stock's basically sort of been on this slow grind higher. So it doesn't look like anything crazy like MicroStrategy or AppLovin or Palantir or VST or any of those crazy high flowers. Like Nvidia has really not been that crazy lately. So I don't think you can argue that it's overbought. So it looks like we are up to 563 people total. We have over 500 people on Twitter. Again, say hi down in the chat if you have any comments, opinions, whatever. And again, we are about 25 minutes from the Nvidia earnings report. So also let me know, are you long the stock? Are you short? What do you think is going to happen? Let me know down in the comments below. So now Nvidia has been on this unbelievable winning streak. I'm sure if you've been following the stock, you see they just beat, and they beat brutally. They've beaten revenue estimates for 20 straight quarters, actually probably more than that. They've beaten EPS estimates for 18 out of 20 quarters. So there's been very few stocks in the history of the world that have just had these incredible winning streaks, and analysts have seemed like they've sort of been behind the ball the whole time, or they've been lowballing. So however you want to put it, Nvidia has this amazing track record of just smashing estimates over and over again. And later on, we're going to talk about how that might actually be turning into a problem. So if you see on the screen, estimates have skyrocketed. Now, you could basically, you see those lines going from the bottom left to the top right. All that is analysts. They've been raising their estimates like crazy this year. So, because as you know, every time Nvidia beats, they just raise those estimates up and up more. So it's becoming, rather, the hurdles are getting bigger and bigger as time goes on. So it's not so easy for Nvidia to beat, basically. Now, analysts are super bullish. So there's 59 buy ratings. There's 4 hold ratings. So it's something like, I think 94% of analysts rated a buy, 0 sells. So basically nobody sees this AI thing coming to an end anytime soon. And those holds are probably just like valuation holds. So everybody in the universe loves this stock. And I didn't make a slide on it here, but Nvidia, the market cap is over $3.5 trillion. It's higher than Microsoft. It's higher than Google. It's higher than Apple. So the stock is widely owned. It's very, very well loved. So we just hit, we are over 600 people now. We have 587 people watching on the T3 Live Twitter. YouTube is a little slow today. YouTube, only 32 people. But thank you to everybody who's joining us live. Again, we are 22 minutes from the earnings report, and it should be fun. And it better go up because I'm long the stock. I have a lot of exposure to Nvidia. I'm going to be in a really, really bad mood if they miss. In fact, I might have to swing the hammer. This is the hammer of doom. And if anything bad happens to Nvidia, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Something bad is going to happen on the streets of New York with this hammer. Okay, let's go on with this. Okay, so again, 59 buy ratings, 4 holds, 0 sells. We have a $161 average target price. So the target price isn't crazy, but 59 buys, 4 holds. That's pretty insane. On the contrary, on the flip side, if you notice before Tesla's last earnings report, Tesla had a ton of sell ratings, and the stock's gone up, I don't know, maybe 100 points since then while it's been hated. Flip side, Nvidia's loved. Everybody loves it. I love it. I don't know how many people I can't remember the last time I met anybody that said they did not like Nvidia. So cool. So we just broke 600 people on Twitter. Awesome. Thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. Okay, now the T3 Live audience is also super bullish. So I emailed our entire email list this morning, and I asked you guys, do you think Nvidia is going to be up after earnings tomorrow? Now, we didn't ask, is the earnings report going to be good? We didn't ask, is the earnings report going to be bad? Just strictly, do you think the stock is going up or down tomorrow? And 69% of you said it's going up after earnings tomorrow. So our crowd, I would say, is super, super, super bullish. And also, just an FYI behind the scenes, whenever we email you guys something about Nvidia, you open it. Nothing gets more attention than putting Nvidia or Tesla and CPI in an email subject line. But Nvidia is by far number one, the biggest thing when it comes to getting people's interest in the market. And yeah, I can already see this is a record-breaking live stream for the T3 Live Twitter account. We are well over 600 people now. Why? Because it's Nvidia. Everybody wants to talk about Nvidia. If I wasn't on this, I'd be listening to somebody else's live stream, trying to find out what the hell's going on with Nvidia. Okay, now another interesting thing that's going on, semiconductor stocks have been stinking lately. Like everything, they popped on the election of Donald Trump to back to the throne, and they've given those gains right back. Now, meanwhile, you've seen like bank stocks have been going wild, crypto stocks have been going wild, but the semis and Mag 7 mega cap tech have been pretty mixed as of late. Now, I can't even tell if this is a good thing or a bad thing, because so we'll start with the bad. On the bad side, maybe this is telegraphing a bigger slowdown in the semiconductors. So, anything cyclical, things tend to go bad before we see it in the fundamentals. Nvidia's fundamentals have never been better, and they are unanimously, everybody loves them. Now, typically with anything cyclical, that's when they peak. It's when things can never get better. So, and often these cyclical names, the fundamentals will break down after the chart breaks down. The price will start going down before you start seeing real problems. Now, we could be reading way too much into this. This could just be standard rotation. People think crypto is hot because of Trump. He is very obviously pro-Bitcoin, especially with Elon Musk in there. And he's pro-deregulation, which is good for anything financial, which is why you've seen these stocks like Robinhood, Coinbase, Upstart, Affirm, BIL, I forget which company it is, but anything related to payments, fintech, trading has been going through the roof. And it feels like that's just because of Trump expecting less regulation. So this could be standard rotation, and maybe things will come back, but who knows? And on the positive side, this could just mean expectations are low. A lot of semiconductor companies have reported bad news, and maybe they're looking for something good to jump on. So maybe this means Nvidia can actually rocket if they report some good numbers. Okay, so just a quick question in the chat. So Michael Anthony is asking, is this the Michael Anthony from Van Halen, by the way? If you are the Michael Anthony of Van Halen, I would really love to hear that. So when CNBC says that materials lead the markets, which sectors are they speaking about? So generally, that's like basic materials. I will look up basic material stocks, but these are basic, the things that go into construction, housing, stuff like that. So this is like chemicals, construction materials, things like that. So when they talk about materials, that's what they mean. Okay, so let's go back to our little friend Nvidia. Yeah, and just a quick eye, when they say they lead the market, generally people like this because it means the economy is strong because people are spending money to buy stuff, which again implies a strong undercurrent to the economy. Okay, so now this is where things really get interesting for Nvidia. And this is something I have not seen them talking about on TV. I haven't really seen people talk about this on social media, but the earnings beats are getting smaller. So you can see 5 quarters ago, Nvidia beat earnings estimates by 29%. And this is literally how much the actual result came in above the estimate. So they were beating by 29% 5 quarters ago. Last quarter, 5.7%. Now, what does this mean? Can anybody out there in internet land guess what this means? I'm sure some of you know. Type it down in the chat if you know what this means. So I'll just say it out loud. Again, this means that expectations are catching up to reality. Analysts, they've been pumping estimates up a lot more. So Nvidia is surprising less and less to the upside. In great stocks, consistently beat to the upside over time. So frankly, it's just less impressive when a company beats by 6% than when it beats by 29%. That's just the way it is. And we can look at the revenues too. Same thing. 5 quarters ago, they were beating by revenue expectations by 22%. Now it's down to less than 5%. So this is the biggest problem with Nvidia, is that reality is sort of catching up. I think people used to just expect Nvidia to beat by these monster numbers every single time, but it hasn't happened. Now, the interesting thing is, I actually wonder if I'm sort of bottom ticking expectations myself. Like the fact that I'm bringing this up, maybe this is a sign that analysts haven't caught up, and maybe they will report another monster number today. Who knows? And guys, just an FYI, we are 15 minutes until it's go time with Nvidia. Okay, here we go. What is our good friend Michael, our friend from Van Halen, saying again? With all the problems that with that Blackwell chip, that could be a miss, and if not a miss, that should lower outlook. Blackwell chips have been a big problem, and now overheating is bad with cells. Okay, so we're going to talk about Blackwell in a little while, but I will say this. I get the feeling that nobody really knows what the hell is going on with Blackwell. Unless you're in one of these companies using these chips and testing them out, nobody really knows, because this is very reminiscent of the Apple iPhone demand problems we've been hearing about for 15 years. Haven't you ever noticed that like every quarter we get at least 4 or 5 news reports about how iPhone demand is down, and yet Apple somehow keeps on beating and the stock keeps going up? I don't think that many people really know what is going on with Blackwell. And the overheating story is not completely new. Now, the thing is, you have to remember the parallels with Apple. Just like over time, people like to read bearish stories on Apple, and they like to read bearish stories on Nvidia. Somebody is talking about Snow stock. So Snow is up 10% after hours. If you are on Snow, congratulations. So Trader, your name is just Trader. Congratulations on Snow. It looks like it is up $13 at 142 in the post market. So let's get back to our friend Nvidia. Okay. So these are the estimates for today. Just an FYI, analysts are looking for 33.14 billion in revenue, 75% EPS. Somebody, at least 1 or 2 analysts, just raised estimates today or yesterday, because those estimates just came up a little bit, which I actually don't like to see. I would rather see expectations low going into the quarter, again, because I own the stock and I want it to go up. So if you've just joined the live stream, I am 1,000,000% biased. This is totally biased. I am very bullish on Nvidia. I'm trying to be measured and as neutral as possible, but I want the company to beat, because I will make a lot of money if the stock goes up a lot. And you can see next quarter's estimates also looking for 82 cents in EPS on 37 billion in revenue. And FYI, Nvidia does put guidance inside its press release typically. So the guidance numbers should be out right away at 420, like the rest of the numbers. So expect a big move. And then I will talk about what to listen for on the conference call. So what is the market pricing in? So approximately the options market is pricing in a $13 move up or down. I'm going to do some quick math because I forgot to. All right, Nvidia closed at about 146. I'm going to do some quick math. So Nvidia is pricing at about a 9% move. Now, 9% is actually a little big compared to historically, because I'm actually going to pull up one of my handy dandy spreadsheets. So please bear with me for just 1 second. Video results. Just hang on 1 second. Okay, so Just hang on. I'm just babbling for a second as I pull up information. Nobody leave the live stream. You're not allowed to leave. So Nvidia is pricing at a 9% move. And the options are actually a little expensive because historically, Nvidia moves about 6% on earnings. That's 6% up or down. So people are bracing for a big move. I personally don't know if that move is going to be up or down. I would like it to be up, obviously, because I'm long the stock. Okay, so we are up to almost 900 people on this live stream. So I'm going to ask typical question we like to do on these. Again, guys, say hi in the chat, especially you people on Twitter. I don't know what is wrong with Twitter people, but Twitter people tend to be a little shy and don't engage in the chat nearly as much as YouTube people. So say hi in the chat. Tell me where you're watching from, as in where in the world. Don't tell me you're on Twitter or YouTube. Tell me where in the world you are watching from. Just curious. Always curious to see what kind of crowd we have, because at T3, we usually have a good international crowd. We have a lot of people, fans all over the world. So we will get back to our NVIDIA overview. Okay, so let's talk about the big question. We all assume NVIDIA is going to beat and God up. The question is, will it be enough? That is the question. There is no easy answer to this. So again, let me know what you think. Do you think NVIDIA is going up or down? Just type it in the chat. Do you think it's going up or down? Jim and stuff is from Tennessee, North Carolina, from Michael. Tim is in NYC. I'm also in NYC right now. Garage Monsters Fitness is in Georgia. Bucky Troll says Frank Nova. Rogers in Satellite Beach, Florida. But again, tell me what you think of NVIDIA heading into earnings, which hit in 10 minutes. JP is saying up. Bobby 4.0 is saying higher. Bobby 4.0, are you Bobby 4.0 from the VTF from Alpha Team? I think I met you at Scott Redler's event in New York City 3 years ago. So I'm pretty sure that's Bobby 4.0. We have Quan saying up. D. Mercier is saying down. Okay, so let's talk about what could make the stock rally. So huge beat and guidance, obviously. This seems like the bare minimum. And yes, Bobby M. It is. I remember. So guys, not that you know this, but Bobby 4.0 taught Scott Redler boxing live inside our New York City trading floor, which was pretty cool. He's a super, super cool guy. So Bobby 4.0, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Bobby is a super fan and we love him. And Matthew is saying greetings from Asbury Park. Is that the name of a Bruce Springsteen album? Okay, so back to NVIDIA. So everybody wants bullish comments on Blackwell demand. We want to hear that everybody's ordering Blackwell for next year and that they can't make enough on it. And probably they need to address this issue about Blackwell overheating. I don't think that's a big deal because I think it's common for companies to go through technical problems that get fixed. So I'm not sure about that. So, and Greta Wall is telling me that Palo Alto Networks announced a 2-for-1 split. Let's see where Palo Alto Networks is down after hours, but they did announce a split. Hopefully that rescues the stock. Okay, so let's ask a big question. So this is what I'm wondering. Is this peak demand? When we're seeing headlines like this, Larry Ellison and Elon Musk begged NVIDIA's Jensen Huang for more GPUs over a fancy sushi dinner. Things like this don't happen at the bottom. They happen near the top. I don't know if the top is near, but this is the biggest thing I worry about with NVIDIA. Is this the top? Does it get any better than people begging, than billionaires begging for equipment? What do you guys think? D. Mercier saying, no, not the peak. I'm personally torn. I'm going both ways on this. Even though I'm long the stock, it is something I'm concerned about. Because this kind of reminds me of the late 90s when people were buying Cisco's. All internet companies were going crazy to buy stuff from Cisco. And then within a year, it's all on eBay or it's being given away on Craigslist. I don't know if NVIDIA is going to be in that situation, but if Blackwell GPUs are on eBay next year, there will be a huge, huge problem. All right, Bobby 4.0 is saying lots of upside still early in the AI revolution. This is something I will bring up. Okay, so let's talk about the worst case scenario for NVIDIA. And now this is big picture. This isn't necessarily today. I do not want the company to be able to meet demand for Blackwell. I want them to say we can't make enough, and I want customers pissed off that they can't get Blackwell chips. Because cyclical stocks, and I don't care what anybody tells you, Nvidia is cyclical, they do best when demand outstrips supply. You don't want them meeting demand. You want demand to be so big that the company can basically project revenues forever into the future just because the demand is just keep going. Because when a company can't meet demand, when there's so little supply, it's basically impossible for them to miss on earnings because they have pricing power and they're maximizing their revenue. So we want Jensen Huang to say we can't make Blackwell chips fast enough. That if he says that, the stock could be at like 200 in a couple of weeks. That is the most important thing. That's the only, I don't even know if I'm going to listen to the conference call, but that's the only thing I want to hear. Okay, number 2 did our disaster scenario for the Nvidia. And again, I don't know if this is going to happen, but customers like Microsoft and Google, they want to make their own chips because Nvidia has something like near 80% gross margins. So these companies are essentially giving away a lot of profit because maybe in-house they can make a chip because let's say it's $100,000 to buy an Nvidia AI GPU. Instead of paying Nvidia $100,000 for one, maybe they make it in-house for $30,000 or $50,000. And if you multiply that over hundreds of thousands or millions of GPUs, they could save a lot of money. Or these companies might simply slow spending on AI chips because they can't be doubling their spending on AI every single year. It would be impossible. All right, Luis is saying, shh, let it jump. Okay, number 3. Another potential disaster scenario. Again, I don't know if this is going to happen. AI startups start flopping and they cut spending on Nvidia chips. Now, I use tons of AI apps. I've tried out dozens of them. Most of them suck. They are horrible. They're completely useless. They don't do what they're saying. For example, I'll give you an example. There are quote unquote AI apps that will take your long form video and cut it down into smaller videos. They're terrible. A lot of these graphics apps are terrible. Video editing, some of the music ones are cool, but I would say 90% of AI apps are pure garbage. And of the ones that are decent, a lot of them are just ChatGPT wrappers. So they're just taking ChatGPT through the API and putting some kind of fancy front end on it. They're not actually doing anything interesting. So most of these AI apps are terrible and disappear. On the flip side, if we need to see companies in other industries needing to make up the slack, like let's just say United Healthcare or Caterpillar or Exxon says, we're building supercomputers because they're going to help us do X, Y, Z. That I would love to see more of that. Okay. So the bottom line here is Nvidia has a $3.5 trillion market cap. As I said before, it's bigger than Apple, Microsoft, Google. It needs to be perfect or close to it. Now, like I said, I'm long stock and calls, so I am 100% biased. I want it to be good, and I'm still nervous. So what do you guys think? Are you bullish or bearish on Nvidia going to earnings? Let me know in the chat. You can type bullish, you can type bearish, you can type foul language. Let me know in the chat what you think about Nvidia into earnings. Very curious to see. I'm actually wondering if I sound too pessimistic myself. I really think maybe in my quest to be quote unquote fair and balanced, I'm too negative. Okay, Bob, our good friend Bobby is saying with Musk and space exploration, they're going to need massive supply. They could even supply a new space station. Finally get that how we were promised. LOL. Yeah, I watched 2001 A Space Odyssey and I watch Terminator all the time, so I'm a little nervous. Jay Bez is saying bullish to a fault. Frank the Tank is saying bearish. Double M is a bear. Our good friend Luis is bullish. Kodalu says looking at the chart looks bullish. Bullish. Dan Ives bullish. Replace the chip if it overheats. So what's a St. Lone Wolf? That's actually an interesting take. Like, what if they just sell more stuff because old stuff is overcheating? WB says, I think it will be a great disappointment to the market cheerleaders. And guys, we are 2 minutes out from the report. Who is excited? We are 2 minutes away. Okay, now this is just a wild card I'm throwing out. I made this up. I don't know if this is going to happen, but what if the US government builds an NVIDIA-powered AI supercomputer spurred on by Elon Musk being so bullish on AI. And since he has a big connection to Trump, maybe this can power Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency. So again, and also write in the chat, are you long Nvidia right now? Let me know if you are long Nvidia right now. Type long or short in the chat. All right. Jay Bez says, I am slamming snacks and power eating in anticipation. Jay Bez is long. Martin is long. Bobby 4.0 is long. D Mercier is long. Jim and stuff is long. Crypto Eclipse is long. P Dilly is short. Good. P Dilly. Good for you. You be different. WB has a bearish leaning strangle. Okay, so this is fun. So VD says deep bulls. Cody says, I bet the stupid thing doesn't move. And right now, just an FYI, I am dealing with a little technical error. It looks like I do not have after hours live charts because I did something stupid. Okay, so just 1 second, guys. I'm going to see if I can find a source for. All right, so I'm just going to have to be ghetto and use Yahoo Finance after hours. Okay, it is 4:20, so we should have our numbers. And Nvidia is down 5. If I get bad news, I'm going to be very, very upset. But just keep in mind that, yep, Nvidia is down 5. Okay, looks like okay, I'm going. Okay, so they reported 78 cents, which is a beat of 4%. That does not feel like it is enough. I am not a happy camper right now. Not a happy camper one bit. 35.1 billion. That's actually pretty decent, but it looks like some margin compression. And let's get the guidance. You can see, so we have a 6% revenue beat and a 4% EPS beat. I'm not a happy camper. So, so we saw a 5% earnings beat last quarter and a 4% earnings beat this quarter. So again, the beats are still getting smaller. This is not a great situation. And they beat by 4.5% on revenue last quarter. This quarter, actually, the revenue beat is a little better than last quarter. So first reaction for Nvidia is down. Nvidia is down 5. I mean, are people going to buy the dip? And let's look at that. So guidance of 37.5 billion at the midpoint. So guiding up by 1.2% is not great. Again, so I am very biased. I have a lot of Nvidia exposure. I'm not sure it's going to bounce. What do you guys think? Who's buying? Let's pull up Yahoo Finance here. Yeah, so Nvidia looks like it's actually coming back after hours. So somebody is buying the dip. I am not. It's already, yep. Kodala's pointing out it's already bouncing. All right, Bob. So Bobby 4.0 is the hero. He added at 138. That is, let's give Bobby. Okay, so Bobby said 138. So we're going to give Bobby 4.0 as the champion because 137. All right, so we're going to give Bobby 4.0 it is the earnings champion because he said 138 and it bottomed at 137.91. So 9 cents. So Bobby 4.0 was off by 9 cents. So pretty damn impressive. So yeah, so I'm looking for Nvidia to be at like 165 by the end of the week. I don't know if that happens. So Bobby, we admire you. We admire your fighting spirit and your trading ability. So what do you guys think? Are you waiting for the conference call to buy more? Are you just gonna wait it out until tomorrow? What do you think? Because I'm not doing anything. Yeah, Bobby, 165. That's like from my lips to God's ears. It would be a miracle if it hit 165. But let me know in the chat, are you buying Nvidia? Just type a yes or no. Are you buying the Nvidia dip here? I'll just type it out in the chat. Are you buying the dip? Are you buying the dip? Frank the Tank says no. Deramulk says no. Frost says mug. Jabez says too big here, not buying more. Might grab some more Palantir. JP says no. P. Dilly says IWM/Nvidia. Seth says wait and watch. Crypto Eclipse says yes. St. Lone Wolf says 165 by Friday. That would be very nice. I basically need that to make my options pay off because I own I own a November 29th 150s and 160s. For now, I'm screwed in them. If they go to 165, it'll be a miracle. Yeah, Matt Schwab is telling us snow is up 14%. Wow, 15% now. So snow is actually killing. Luis is saying, wait, yeah, let's take a quick look at snow. So snow is up 15%, pretty amazing. Let's see what's happening with Palo Alto Networks. Down 6%. So I am... All right, so this is good news. So our friend Greta's telling us NVIDIA says Hopper and Blackwell systems have supply constraints. That's exactly what I want to hear. This is the best possible news. More good news. Greta's telling us Blackwell demand to exceed supply for several quarters. Amazing news. This is what we want to hear. Anything cyclical, this is what we want to hear. I'm still concerned the guidance wasn't strong enough, so we're not going to see those massive estimate bumps for Q4, for the next quarter, and for next year. So we will be ending on a sad note, folks. Very, very sad. So what did you guys think of this little party? Do you think I should do this again? Let me know in the chat, because there's going to be other fun market events coming up soon. Give me a yes or no down in the chat. We have over 1,100 people watching, which is definitely cool. So let me know, yes or no, should I do this in the chat? Bobby is saying hell yeah. Frost is saying yes. P. Dilly saying even though I'm losing money, you people are feeding my ego, which is great. All right, so I will do it again. I will do it live Bill O'Reilly style. All right, thank you, Roger. Okay, my voice is just about gone. All right, so this is a ridiculous comment. You aren't losing until you close. No, if you are down money, you are losing. I cannot sell the stock and make money right now, so I am losing. Izzy's telling me yes. Seth, are you from JR's room? Are you from Momentum Express? I know that 11 is not random. Yes, I knew it. Seth is from JR's room. JR is my brother. He's my favorite Jewish guy from Brooklyn. Okay. All right, guys. We are going just about 40 minutes. Again, if you guys want to listen to the conference call, it starts at 5 p.m. Eastern time, exactly 32 minutes from now. And thank all of you 1,130 people for coming out tonight. This was fun, and I will do events in the future. Bye-bye.